Today, I would like to share with you a non-Disney movie called TMNT. It was a full-length animated feature film produced by Imagi Animation Studios. The story was mainly based on the TMNT comic book series. Actually, the full name was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. For me, I think the film has a quite solitary lecture to deliver. It was brotherhood, or more advanced, team building. First of all, let's analyze a little bit about the four turtle main characters' personality to help us easier to understand the message of the film. Leo was supposed to be the leader of the brothers. He was responsible and active towards the relationship and jobs. He showed his leadership and determination by his majesty literally emerged on his face. Raphael was a big guy with a quite impatient temper. Vigorous arguments seemed to be an essential part of his life. However, as Splinter said, he always bears the world's problem on his own, and that was definitely admirable. Mike was an entertaining and funny creature among them. He brought joy to the family but also troubles. Donatello was probably the coordinator. He was professional and patient on his occupation, and with a sensitive observation, he was able to empathize others. The story started when Leo was in training in South America in order to be a better leader of the team. The other three turtles stayed at their hometown and had their work in the society. Four of them had separate things to do and seemed to enjoy them. Nevertheless, they all forgot how to strengthen the brotherhood since they were just serving for themselves. Leo thought that he was not ready to come back home since he didn't get a desired result during the training. Moreover, he thought that the people there needed him even more than his brothers. Leo had an instinct to protect the weak. Compared to the villagers in South America, he thought that there was nothing he could do for his brother anymore, partly because they were much stronger. He needed not to protect them, and more importantly, he hadn't explored any new strategies or skills for leading the team, so it was meaningless to return with nothing. However, he didn't realize that his brother needed him not because of his power or leading skills. They just wanted him to be back as soon as possible, therefore their family would become complete again. They just wanted Leo to accompany them and share their stress with each other, like normal family members do. But Leo was too insistent on his performance of training and forgot the reason why Splinter sent him there. Splinter just wanted him to widen his horizon, therefore he may find some new ways to reunite this team to protect their city. Though Leo continued thinking about his weak points and omitted that he had already finished his mission. It's time to went back and reorganize his family. When April asked Leo what is your heart telling you, Leo finally perceived family was the crucial element in his life and immediately went back to New York. Raphael had an unbalanced mind. He was prohibited of service activities, that means he couldn't be a ninja to protect the city. Nevertheless, he had a strong desire to exert his ability to the public and didn't want any family member to know. Therefore, he dressed up heavily and became the Night Watcher of New York City. The interesting thing was that he seemed to be having lots of fun during this period, but he never felt he was really successful since no one would recognize him. In addition, he slept all day long and only secretly did his job at midnight. Donato kept criticizing his laziness and made him feel wrong, and he further pushed the responsibility of this consequence towards Leo. He thought if Leo didn't leave to training, four of them could remain a one family. Leo just deserted them at once. He thought he couldn't count on Leo anymore, so he just ignored him, and even didn't expect him to come back home. He had no faith on Leo since he was too impatient. He couldn't just wait for Leo quietly and did other things. He just persisted on his norm that crime would never stop, and hence, he had to clear them. Nevertheless, the fact was that there were infinite violations of laws in the city. He couldn't change the world like that. Raphael was just finding an outlet to vent his frustration. This unhealthy habit continued until the time that Leo went back home. Mike and Donato was quite comfortable with their new jobs. They possibly put their soul in their position in the society. However, they still miss their days to be ninjas, and thus, they hope that Leo could be back soon so that they can be recognized as a team. After Leo was back, the major opposition was between Leo and Raphael that who was responsible for this fragile team. Leo thought that the Night Watcher defamed their reputation of being ninjas. He thought they were the real protector of the city, but not that surreptitious guy. Ironically, it turned out that the Night Watcher was exactly his brother Raphael. He was totally shocked, since he didn't expect the man who he despised for a long time was his most intimate family member. Leo was grateful since he spent years of time in jungles for training to be a better leader of his brother, and finally, Raphael's myopic refusal disapproved everything he did for him. To leave his brother in order to help them, it was totally worthless. And later on they had a fight and Raphael finally won. Leo was traumatized as he didn't understand why his brother was so mad at him. He just wanted to improve himself but unintentionally hurt Raphael's heart. The most unacceptable thing was that Raphael thought he was a betrayer of their family. Leo abandoned his brothers, friends, and went alone. That was what Raphael thought. Leo felt aggrieved because no matter how he tried to fix the relationship, he just made it become more vulnerable, and he even had to be responsible for the other brothers' misbehavior in the city. Eventually he lost his feistiness and was caught by the stone statues. When Leo was lost, Raphael finally realized how much important his brother was. Raphael found that he was just saving the city for himself, filling a vacancy of his royal mind, and self-comforting himself that the world would be better under his control. However, he didn't solve the problem in his mind at all. He still felt uneasy when he communicated with the other brothers. The reason was that he liked to compare his ability with one another. He thought he was stronger and more durable than Leo, and consequently, he should become the leader but not Leo. He felt jealous of Leo's higher status even after he forsook him. Ultimately, his envy was converted into aversion towards Leo and led to a vigorous fight between two brothers. Although Raphael finally won and probably proved that he was better than Leo in some way, he didn't feel satisfied. His vacancy of mind still exists. At that moment, he realized that he was mentally weak, not because of Leo's ability. It was definitely due to having almost zero confidence on Leo about strengthening their family. Or even Raphael himself didn't take any attempt to try to help Leo. He just thought Leo was the one who in charge of this issue, but he failed. So they could remain in this status forever, and that's all. He found out he was just a selfish guy that only found advantages for himself. Leo was the one actually paid large for their family. Nevertheless, he had already done an irreversible thing to Leo. He was caught by the stone statues, owing to the fight between them. The only thing that Raphael could do was regret and rescue Leo as soon as possible. That's what team building about. Four little brothers had their own issue to deal with, but they had the same purpose. It was to strengthen their family. Leo went to South America for training to be a better leader. The other three brothers stayed at New York and accumulated working experience. The division of them didn't mean to destroy their brotherhood, but to enlarge their power in different aspects. Secondly, Leo and Raphael should remain a good relationship so that they could communicate well. Kept having hatred of each other would definitely weaken their bonds. That's the lesson Raphael learned after fighting with Leo. With these two premises, the whole team cooperates effectively with collaborations. Last but not least, team members should support and encourage one another with patience and discipline. Forgive those mistakes your teammate has made, and continue your journeys. That's why Leo appreciated April calling him back. She reminded Leo about the original intention of his training. The stone statue's family, including Winters, was probably the reverse of the turtle's family. Winters wanted to bring peace to the world, but his brothers just wanted to command the world. Eventually, betrayal occurred. At last, they even didn't recognize each other as a fraternal relationship. That's all this film about: brotherhood, family, and team building. The message was simple but essential. You would possibly had a profound impression on every character after watching this exciting film. Thanks for watching.